I have my album that's going to drop in 2010. So, been in the studio finishing that up, and my first single drops actually in a few weeks with Super Black. And you could actually go to Vimeo or YouTube, and you could check it out there, or go to my website. So that's dropping. We have that single coming out. I just did the remix for Michael Jackson. He has these, or Universal Motown are putting out these suites, and they're asking all kinds of DJs and producers to remix his earlier stuff. So it's like Jackson 5. And in between, just, I mean, there's so much touring. So like this year, like last year I did about 300 gigs. And this year is like coming close to that. So I'm definitely, like, I'm about 23 to 25 gigs a month. It's like they're two different, they're like, it's a good balance actually. And my studio is in my house, and there's nothing better than being in my house. There's nothing better than being in my own bed. But yeah, like, you know, I like the balance. I like being on the road, and you know, my set really consists of a lot of the music that's on my label. So on Dimmock, we have like the Bloody Beetroots, we have Mastercraft, we have a new track with Armand Van Helden and myself that we just finished. You know, like stuff from like Layback Luke and Diplo, and just all kinds of artists around the world. So we're just promoting that. I've been promoting those artists and promoting those tracks and new remixes that I've been able to finish in the past summer. And so I like to play those out and see the kind of response that it's getting. And then coming back in the studio and like working on some new stuff and getting inspired also. Like being on the road, you also get inspired by new influences and new sounds and new DJs and new producers. And it helps carve, you know, my sound when I go back into the studio. So now I was going to Europe a lot last year and doing a lot of tours. And in Europe, it is like so hard to find turntables, and the turntables are dirty. And I just started using Serato a couple years ago. So when Serato and turntables mix, and they're dirty and they're not maintained, it's just a mess. A lot of digital feedback, a lot of problems, errors, needles, dirty records. You know, the whole gambit. It just was tough. And I'm not a scratching DJ, so I don't maximize what the turntable is meant for. So I was with Mastercraft last year, and I played a couple shows with them, and they switched over from vinyl to CDJs, and they're like, Steve, you have to switch over. I mean, it just makes more sense for what your sound is, what you do. So I was like, you know what? On this Australia tour at the end of December to through January of this year, I'm gonna put in my rider that I need my CDJs, and I had my Pioneer 800 mixer, which I switched over actually. The beginning of 2008, I switched over from using Rain to Pioneer 800 mixer because it just makes more sense for my sound. When I use a Pioneer 800 mixer, the color function is a really big element with all the builds and changes. And it's actually like, I mean, everyone uses the color function, and that's like Pioneer 800 signature. It's a signature to the 800, and it's so important that when I DJ, it's not a 1000, it's not a 600, it's an 800 mixer. I need my 800, and I need all my EQs, and just like I need it. I won't even DJ unless they have a Pioneer 800 mixer there, and I was using Pioneer 800 with the turntables at first, and then I switched from turntables into to CDJs for this Australia tour. You know what? Like, and I've heard, and I remember when the recession was hitting, and my gigs weren't dipping. Like I said, like last year I was like about 300 gigs. And it's not like I'm looking forward to having so many gigs. It's just, my management comes to me and just gives me a list like, do you want to do this, 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 this? And I look at it and I'm like, God, yeah, I want to do them all. Because I feel like I just need to go out and play to these people, and I don't know, I just have the drive to do those gigs and to travel as much as I've been traveling. And it hasn't changed this year at all. The clubs are always crazy. It's like it never seems to go away. I think live shows are different when you go see a band versus like going to a club dancing. It's like those are two different worlds, and they have two different reasons why people go out. So as far as all the clubs I've been playing this year, it's just been getting for me, it's just getting crazier. You know, like the awareness of the tracks that I'm playing are getting more popularized, and people are knowing these tracks, and they're coming out to hear those tracks. You know, so yeah, it's definitely on the rise still. Yeah, these headphones are great. When I DJ, I'm a pretty physical DJ, so I'm like, sometimes I'm like throwing my headphones around, and sometimes I go through a headphone, at least one headphone a tour. Somehow, like I come back and like with one of the earbuds are like falling off. These headphones are pretty sturdy, and like they really can handle a lot. It's like one of those what are those commercials with the watches where like the sumo wrestler like jumps on the watch, and these headphones, they're just they can stand the test of a crazy Aoki set. This is going to change the game entirely for all the DJs that use computers, and it's just a huge trend, especially in America. I mean, Europe, like people are like all my European DJs, they go with CDs. So, but that's definitely going to change the game. Everyone is, it's a one step up from using CDs to now this little guy right here. I mean, you could bring two of these, or essentially you could bring one of these. You bring one of these, and you can rock a set to a festival, and all you have is just one stick. I mean, imagine that. From like I remember like 5 years ago bringing like 5 crates of records to international countries, and going to Japan with these huge crate of records, and you're only playing like one song off one huge record, and now it's all come down to this, and you're still getting the quality, and you're getting the accuracy and the sound and all of that. You get all of that into this little dude right here, and it's going to change the game entirely. This is going to change the game. Another new feature of this CDJ that's going to make life a lot easier, and actually, the DJs that can loop on cue and catch the beat are amazing. Like, I mean, some of these DJs, I don't. It's not like I necessarily follow them. Like Eric Murillo is amazing at doing that, and Benny Benassi is sick at doing that as well. Just being able to catch the loops, Too many DJs, sick, so fast. These Dave and Steph from Soulwax, too many DJs, incredible at looping, at catching the loops. DJ Mehdi, great. He does that a lot actually as well. But most people can't. I mean, it's hard. Like when you're like DJing, you have all the pressure of all these people, and you're trying to catch a loop so you can mix into the other track without the beat going away or that section changing. It's so hard. Now you have the shortcut, the 4-beat loop right here, and that actually changes. That actually makes it where people don't have to stress out about it. This is definitely going to be the next step for the Serato DJ to be using this CDJ, and it's just like you have a screen right here too, so you can see everything. You see like your wave file right here, which is really important. Seeing the wave file is really important for me just to know where the track is, especially if I don't know when a drop is coming. I look at the wave file and I'm able to like judge how long these breaks are. You can almost like, with wave files you could tell just by looking at a screen that when you're producing a track, it's like almost identical. Like which ones are the 16 bars and the 832 bars and 8 bars. You can kind of judge that there, and where the transitions are. It's like that way when you're going to come in with a new track. Like stuff like that. That helps. And this functionality right here is great. Being able to go through and browse your tracks through the USB. I don't know. It's just it definitely is like what is needed now. This is coming at the right time.